So, speaking of media takes, I think the media was constructing the bust of Justin Herbert this past week after the win against the Raiders, uh, ready to crown him after his performance as the next top star quarterback in the league. Move over Patrick Mahomes. Here's Justin Herbert. And you know what? The Browns are coming to town to see the star of the NFL. Drew, let's go to you first here. Big game, Browns Chargers, another important one for the Browns. What are your expectations for this game?
Yeah, my expectations are that this is a Cleveland home game. You saw it against the Raiders in Los Angeles, and the Chargers have to play every single game on the road. They have to go to silent counts and stuff in their own stadium. I expect the Browns to be no different. To a fan base that does support the team in Minnesota, the Browns showed up with something like 15,000 plus people there. I expect to be double that in Southern California. So I expect very much this to be a Cleveland home game. But on the flip side of that, I expect a very tough Los Angeles Chargers team. They've had the third hardest schedule so far. You mentioned Chiefs and Raiders. They have Austin Eckler, who's an excellent back out of the backfield. The Browns have struggled, with those types of backs in the past. Their run defense has been very good this year, but they have been prone to getting beat by backs, catching the ball out of the backfield. So we're hoping that that's been fixed, and the last couple of weeks has been better. But they also have Joey Bosa, one of the highest graded defensive ends in the league so far. Justin Herbert, Ryan, you mentioned he's been playing great. And the matchup that I'm sort of really looking forward to here, sort of like the natural disasters type of a thing. You get Rashawn Slater, who has not allowed a sack all season, going up against Myles Garrett. Hopefully we get those two one-on-one with the Undertaker. And we can really see, what happens in that matchup. That sort of strength on strength. They have not helped Rashawn Slater all that much, unlike what we saw in Houston with tight ends and running backs just chipping Myles Garrett every play. I am expecting some decent amount of one-on-one matchups there, and I think we need Myles to win those. So that's the big matchup that I'm looking forward to watching here on Sunday.
The Stars will be out in LA. What's the chances of them referencing that in this game? But Eric, what do you think about the matchup? It is going to be a tall task.
Yeah, and the Chargers should be riding high after wins, two division wins they're coming off of against the Raiders and against the Chiefs. Having said that, I'm expecting a little bit of a letdown against the Browns, especially just a big win at home. And to Drew's point, yeah, the Browns fans are going to travel. I would love to say it's 50-50, but it's probably not accurate. But the Browns fans will show up, and I think they're going to be loud. And I don't think it's going to be like the opening game against the Chiefs, where you're going to see Baker Mayfield covering his ear holes and being challenges to the left and right tackles, not being able to hear the cadence or anything. So I think that's going to play in the Browns' favor. The defense is going to have to be on point. That goes without saying. Justin Herbert and his passing game, but also, as Drew had mentioned, Austin Eckler is not only a good running back, he's solid out of the backfield and catching passes, and is one that, the Browns have they did a great job against stopping the run last week in Minnesota, but this Eckler gives another gadget catching passes, kind of what Kareem Hunt does for us. So that's going to be one of the critical situations that the defense is going to have to do this week. And then on the offensive side, they must neutralize the efforts of Derwin James, Asante Samuel Jr., and Joey Bosa. They got playmakers on all levels of the defense, and I think they have enough horses on the. I guess you could say they have 4 horses on the offensive line, or on the offensive side of the ball that can kind of work on these guys. So. I looked at the Chargers record. They were 3-1. Their only loss is a 20-17 defeat to the Cowboys. So for those thinking that a shootout will be required to beat them and having to outscore them in the 40s or 50s or what we were expecting last week, it's not necessarily the case. The goal is obviously to get that positive turnover margin, and kind of something they did last week. They had a second one called back for the second week in a row, but forcing Justin Herbert to make those mistakes that hopefully Baker Mayfield will avoid. Hopefully Nick Chubb and hopefully Kareem Hunt will avoid as well, or maybe can steal one from Austin Eckler, because everybody thinks that Justin Herbert is the Ayatollah of rock and roll. However, I think Baker's going to get him in this game.
All right, Drew, one player, key performer for the Browns is going to lead to a win. Who you got?
Baker, Reagan, Mayfield.
Eric.
Okay.
Who do you have? Key performer of the game.
I'm going to go with Nick Chubb. I think the offense is going to hopefully get that nice lead going in the second half, and the Browns are going to hammer out the game with the running game and the short passing game. I know Kareem Hunt's been the guy the last couple of weeks, and I think it's Nick's turn to kind of make things difficult for Joey Bosa and the defensive line for the LA Chargers.
I'm going to go Myles Garrett, coming off that steroid test that they put him through after his last incredible performance. Myles is going to be a man on the mission this weekend and probably get back on track with another 5 sacks.